Earlier this week, my brother-in-law, Mike, who I consider to be a firearms expert, took me to the gun range to teach me about basic safety and firing drills. We covered proper loading, proper stance, proper drawing, proper aiming, and proper firing of handguns, shotguns, and rifles.
So which ones are these? What are these from?
So this is just a full size. This is a Glock 34. Which is a full size Glock. You've got the Glock 17, right? So which is your duty size, also considered full size or duty size. So just a little bit shorter. This is a Glock 19, which is just a little bit shorter. This is a 2011, so it's kind of its own animal.
The only non-Glock.
Yeah, I wanted to keep kind of apples to apples as much as we possibly could. And this little fella here is a pocket rocket. This is the Glock 43. Anyway, it's just it's a small single stack conceal carry type gun. So you can see
2-inch difference or what?
Oh, I forget how many inches that barrel is,
crazy.
but it's significantly smaller. But it's also not just smaller, but you can look; it's significantly thinner.
Oh wow!
Right. So, and you'll really feel it when you get your hands on it and start shooting it. Now, the upside to something small like this, having a pocket rocket, is that it is it's great because it can go a lot of places that sometimes a full size handgun can't go.
Right. More concealable.
Yeah, correct. But it's less capacity. Less rounds in your magazine, and it's a lot harder to shoot. And now when you get better and better, you can learn to shoot these things reasonably well. But that's kind of what I was saying before. A lot of people say, well, I just want to buy one gun. I want to buy a little tiny concealed carry gun, what I often call pocket rockets. And they go, and then I'm good. I'm like, hard to learn to shoot on something this small with such limited capacity. I mean, it can be done, but you're setting yourself up for significantly a hard time compared to getting yourself any of these, full-size guns or what's considered a true mid-size gun, which kind of does everything well. It's big enough to learn to shoot with, yet can also be concealed.
Are these so? Because these are all the 3 Glocks. Like these are the magazines for my Glock. Correct. Will these fit into the other Glocks or not?
So yes, mostly. So when you have, here is a extended capacity magazine, right?
And how many does that hold?
20, I think, 20? Something like that. You can stick it in there. It's just going to stick out,
but not in the pocket rocket.
No, because it's single. It's single stack. So this is its own animal. So, but you can take.
So anything that's dual stacked or whatever.
Yeah, correct. Any of your standard Glock magazines will fit. So here's a standard Glock mag going in a standard Glock, right? Fits flush like normal. You can put it, again, this is the same size grip as that, so it's going to also fit flush, And then, of course, you can stick it in a Glock 19. Yeah, it'll just stick out just a little bit.
Well, that's the advantage of owning the same type of gun, right? That not having to have magazines.
Now it doesn't work the other way. So this is a Glock 19 magazine with an extended base pad on it. Yeah, but won't fit.
So the base pads are.
So you can go larger mags down in the same family of guns, and that is something. Now again, it changes when you go into single stacks, but one thing I do recommend for new shooters is once you find a family of guns that you like, whether it's Glock, M&P, Springfield Armory, CZ, whoever, SIG, whatever you're into. Stick with the same family of guns if you can, for a number of reasons. You're going to have magazine interchangeability to some degree. You're going to have the same caliber across all the guns. And when you go to pick the gun up, it's going to feel more natural to you, because if you train a lot on your full-size gun, when you go to a smaller size gun, it will still feel very similar to you. You'll have the same sights on there, same type of trigger pull. All those kinds of things, which are important, because that familiarity, is going to be helpful. Whereas if you have a bunch of different guns with a bunch of different features, I mean, that's cool if you're like collecting things or whatever, but it's not very good for building.
For training, yeah.
Correct. For real world use, you want to have that familiarity, and that everything I pick up is going to feel the same, look the same, the sights are going to be the same. Again, we want to reduce as many variables in our shooting as we possibly can, and that's a good way to start doing it right off the bat.
You want to run through loading up, like the loading up?
So yeah, let's. Yeah, sure.
A lot of people haven't even seen loading up. Here's an empty one if you want.
Yeah. Grab me. Oh yeah, some bulletos. There we go. So yeah.
So these are full metal jackets.
Yeah.
No hollow points.
So yeah, this is a hollow point again. You can see this is a full metal jacket. So when you're loading a magazine,
where's that hollow point? There you go. All right. Yeah.
So loading a magazine is pretty straightforward stuff. You know, the bullets go this way, right? And you're just going to kind of seat the edge of the bullet in here, and you're just going to sort of push this down.
Spring loaded, right?
Yeah, there's a spring in here, and this orange guy right here is called the follower, and it's just a plastic shelf that holds the rounds, and the spring pushes them up, and this thing just sort of holds them. So you're just going to insert them like that, all right? And then you just kind of use your thumb to push it down and go like that.
Man, you're a lot faster than I am, man.
Well,
it was hurting my hand yesterday when you get to like near the bottom when the spring you're really pushing against the spring.
If you're loading a bunch of them. So I keep this in my little range box, my little range bag. You don't have to have one of these, but they are handy if you're going to be out here at the range shooting quite a bit. This is called a Lula. You can get them at online or at Academy or
Lula.
Yeah, Lula. Lula. Anyway, they make them for different magazine platforms. This one is the pistol one, and it's nifty because you just kind of stick it over your magazine, push it down, and then stick your round on there, and it makes loading
way faster
and easier on you if your little thummies get tired. You know,
it's like when on the guitar, when you have to restring a guitar, you can either do it by hand and twist the knob for about 20-30 seconds, or you can get a crank and then does it like in like a quarter of the time.
Yeah,
that's pretty awesome.
This is it's a handy device to have if you're going to be out here on the range for a while, and they make them, like I said, for different magazine types.
So this is a single or double, right? This stack.
Double. You can tell right away.
They're kind of staggered.
Because see how feel how thin, like a single stack is very thin. You know? So you're only going to get a single row of ammunition, and so reduced capacity.
I see. And then tell me about the ear. So this is basically like
hearing protection. Protection. So hearing protection is, you got to have it at the range. Comes in a lot of flavors. You know, you can have foam earplugs or the big muffs that go on there, but I dislike those. I mean, this is year 2023. There's no reason for us to be shouting at each other. So when you have electronic hearing protection of whichever brand you like, there are many out there, but electronic hearing protection, you turn them on, and it will actively cancel any noise over whatever they're rated for. I think 140 decibels or 130 something.
Oh, whatever. So you hear everything at a normal volume unless it hits past a certain
threshold. Magnified. It'll actually it'll boost low sounds and cut out high sounds. So it cuts out the sound of the report or the sound of the gun going bang. Cuts all the bang out, just like traditional hearing protection will do for you. Cuts that out, but we can talk to each other normally in a normal tone of voice and hear each other fine. So for me, it's a big kind of a must-have on a range like this, because we can hear each other and talk to each other normally. So it's just kind of a nice safety function to have, that we can just hear everything around us and not have to use hand signals like it's 1982 at the range with your dad. And
dude, this is in music production. This is a compressor. This is what a compressor does. Oh. So in music production, when you're trying to get like a guitar part that somebody plays like even in volume, the compressor has a threshold. Anything below the threshold gets amped up, and anything that goes above the threshold gets pushed down. So it basically evens out the sound so that it sounds more even throughout. So
yeah, so this is going to boost your low sounds and cancel out your your loud noises for you. And like I said, so if you're going to be at the range for a while, or at the range with other people, it's very, very useful to have. You hear everything going on around you, and we can talk to each other normally, and makes your life easy and safe. So it's one of the kind of just a personal thing. It's by no means required, but I require it of everybody. If they're going to come to the range and shoot with me, got to have electronic hearing protection. And they come in a lot of flavors. Like, these are not expensive. These you can get on Amazon for, oh God, they usually pre-inflation prices. I think they were like $40 or something like that on Amazon. So nowadays, no telling, maybe 60.
I got my sister's.
Yeah, those are Emily's old ones. Nice. These are a more expensive version of those. They're just spendier, but they do exactly the same thing.
Nice.
These are like $300 or something. So mild to wild. But these will do you just fine for most people. just get a pair of these. You can, like I said, you can order them from Amazon or get them at Academy Sports or wherever, and they'll do you fine for the most part.
Nice. Do you want to go over holstering and stuff like that? And what do you want to go over next?
Well, so we probably ought to, we're just going to hit, like if we're going to do a day at the range. So the kind of the first thing I start with is really kind of our range rules and our safety rules, right? And then we'll get into drawing a little bit, and we'll probably shoot some pistols first. Then we'll take a break and we'll shoot some rifle, some carbine, and we'll do a little bit of shotgun stuff somewhere in the way there. So we'll kind of hit all kind of the big three, you know, and you can shoot that filthy AK.
Yes, I can't wait.
Get a dose of that. No, so the range rules. This range has a rule that if we go out of this covered area, we need to put on our glasses, right? And that's just a range rule that's particular to this range. Got to have your eye protection on, because people are shooting metal targets out here. I mean, there's nobody out here right now but us, but if there are other shooters out here, they are shooting metal targets, and you will get ricochets, little pieces of the bullet jacket and the cape, you know, can hop over the berm from time to time. And or if you're shooting your own metal targets, you know, you will get splashback every now and again. And normally it's no big deal, but if it hits your eye, you know, put your eye out. So eye protection once we're out there. That's just particular to this range.
Other thing that's important that you mentioned to me yesterday was the tight collared shirts. I've been at the range before. At the range before, and it fell in the collar.
Oh, hot brass down the shirt. Yeah, man, you're gonna get hot brass down the shirt every now and again. That's super big with women. I always tell women if they're coming out here, wear a high shirt. You know, don't wear it like a V cut or anything like that, because hot brass will jump down. Jump right down your shirt, and then you get to do the dance. Try to get that hot brass out.
I remember that dance.
Yeah, it's a fun dance, and everybody gets to laugh at you. And normally it's no big deal, but the thing is, you got to make sure you're not pointing that gun at somebody while you're doing your dance.
Right.
You know, trying to get that hot brass out of your shirt. And I tell everybody, if we're going to run slings, it's nice to have a collar, just because it keeps that sling from rubbing on your neck. Yeah, it's not a big deal, but it's, you know, if we're going to be out here for a couple hours, it can be irritating after a while. Med kit. If we have an accident, I've got one attached to my belt that I'll have on me, but for you, there's one right here. It's got the little thing on it. Everything you need is in here, or if I need you to grab it, this index card is our physical address of where we are, in case you have to call 911. Where am I? I'm in the wilderness. Okay, that's not very helpful. This is where we are. Oh yeah, this is just a med kit. You can pull it out.
Standard med kit.
Yes, and you just rip the top open and pull it out. Got a bandage, got a tourniquet, got all the stuff that you need to deal with a gunshot. You know, hopefully we're not going to have any. My record so far has been perfect, so don't fuck it up here.
Yes, sir.
And then, like I said, this card is for where we are. So if you have to make a 911 call, where am I? This is where you are.
Got to drop a pin.
Yeah, exactly. So we will grab our stuff and put it on, and we'll do a little pistol warm up, and we'll work on our draw. So pop your holster on. So anyway, what we want to do to unload the gun, this little button here is your magazine release, right? So let's say we've got our gun here. We're going to press, finger off the trigger, pointing in the safe direction. We're going to press our magazine release and get rid of our magazine.
All right.
So yeah,
finger off.
Yeah. Oh, you know what? That one's not going to do. You need there you go. Okay.
So I'm just weak. So I can use my thumb in this case, because it's on.
Yes. So you're going to set up to be left-handed, since you're left-handed. So yeah. So go ahead and hit your magazine.
I feel like I've got to move my thumb in to get there.
So they make extended ones if you feel you can't reach it. That is a personal thing.
Yeah, it feels like it's too far away.
We can get you a different one if it does you better. So yeah. So very first thing, we're going to pick the gun up. We're going to release our magazine. It ejects the magazine.
Yeah, that's not comfortable.
And then
it's good to know, right?
Yeah, familiarity. Yeah. So then we're going to just bring our slide back. So we want to build the habit of reaching over the top. We don't want to do this pinchy number here. We're going to reach our whole hand over the top, and we're just going to put a little tiny bit of pressure up on this as we slide the gun back, and it'll hit. There you go, and it'll lock. So you can show the camera there. So in there is your chamber, right? And it's empty now. You can see that it's empty, you know, and some people will put their finger in there to double check. That's fine. If there was a round in there, it'll go like this, you know. So now this gun's loaded. So to unload, we're going to simply drop our magazine, okay? And then just...
That just came into your hand?
I have a habit of always catching them if I can, so they don't go everywhere. Let me do it without catching it. So here we're going to eject.
So now there's one in the chamber.
Yeah, there's one in the chamber. So now we're just going to see it pop right out. Yeah, and then you got to go chase it. So I just have the habit of catching them. But yeah, it's going to pop right out like there. And now your slide is locked to the rear.
So with my, I have nothing in the chamber. If I pull this back now, if I slide the...
As soon as you drop your slide release and run that slide forward, it's going to be loaded. Right, there you go.
Okay, so now I'll release.
Yeah, so now to unload, we're going to release magazine. Right. Yep, yeah, there you go. Whole hand. There you go. Yep. Right. And if you want to lock it to the rear, go ahead and, yep, there you go. There you go. Yeah, just build that habit.
Yeah.
Build that habit of the whole hand goes over the top. Okay. You want to get away from doing the finger pinching thing because it's
not reliable.
It's awkward and weird. You want to use whole hand if you can.
I can't believe like the slide release is a really important thing because I mean I've had this gun for over 2 years and my thumb doesn't comfortably press it. Which is
Some people get that, and so what'll happen if that does happen is you have to kind of rotate the gun in your hand, and that's fine if you are uncomfortable doing that. I'm
fine doing that, but I'd rather have something where I can just hold it.
If I could use yours, since the camera's facing this way, I'll do left-handed. Let's say that you are having a hard time reaching that. My thumbs usually reach them fine, but if they don't, they don't. That's common enough. They make extended buttons for this, the aftermarket, that are shaped different or come out just a hair more to make it easier for you to get to.
Essentially, if it was like closer, if the release was like right there, then I could press it.
Yeah. So you want to, if you need to rotate the gun, what a lot of people will do is, again, not putting your hand in front of the muzzle, but coming up under. You can help use two hands to rotate it for you, so that you can hit it. So if I've got this magazine in here like this, and I say I can't reach it, dumping it, then I can go from there.
Got it.
So there's nothing wrong with that. If you need to, if you can manage to do it one-handed, that's cool. If not, that's fine. You just bring the other hand up and help tilt the gun in your hand to get it to where you can do that. But anyway, so we talked about unloading the gun, right? So we talked about unloading it. And it's simple as pie, right? We're just going to ditch our magazine, lock our slide to the rear. Gun is now unloaded, right? So to load the gun, right? So loading the gun is just as important as unloading it. We want to know when it's loaded, when it's not loaded. So to load the gun, we're going to bring the gun up here. This little space around us is called our workspace, right? The gun is pointing in a safe direction. I'm not pointing it at my friend, not pointing it at myself. I'm not pointing it straight forward. I bring it up here in my face where I can see it, right? In here in your workspace. We're going to take our magazine. You want to learn to grab your magazines with your finger indexed along the front of the magazine here in the direction that the bullets are pointed, right? And with your palm here like this. So as soon as you pick up a mag, you'll just kind of grab it like this. And after a while, this will feel very normal, very natural to you. So, and the reason we do this is, even with my eyes closed, I know where my hand is. I can touch my fingers together, right? I have enough spatial awareness to be able to manage that. Yeah, exactly. If you have some other goofy grip, you end up with this bobble number, which is no good. So we want to bring the gun into our workspace. We're going to use our index finger to come right up into here, into the magazine well. Yeah. We're going to insert, and now one good push. There you go, all the way. Now, if your slide is locked back, that's fine. You have two choices. You can either use your thumb to hit the slide release, or you can bring your whole hand over the top and be exactly.
Which one do you do?
I kind of do both. Oftentimes I do that one. Okay. I do the whole. Yeah. Oftentimes I do that. The reason I do that is it's more. It's kind of bigger motion, and it works on almost any gun you pick up.
It's less
like, you know what I mean? Yeah. Like, oh, my slide release is on the other side. Like for you, not every gun has a left-handed or ambidextrous slide release. Yeah. So if you pick up any of my guns and you load them and you run your hand over the top like that, that'll work on any gun you pick up. So it's kind of universal.
Not loaded.
So and you drop. So our last step in checking to make sure that we are loaded. I kind of got a little sidetracked there. Let me reload my gun. So I bring the gun into my workspace, index the magazine, insert with one good push. We don't want to tap it 20 times. We just want to get that one good push. Bring the hand up.
Same thing with racking.
And when you rack it, you want to pull it all the way back and let it go forward, right? We don't want to do what's called ride the slide, which is this number where we kind of ease it forward. We want to let it slam. You're not going to hurt the gun by doing that. There you go. Yeah, let it slam. So now, last step to this is we're going to rotate the gun just like this so that we can see the port. For you, be the other way. Okay. There you go. Because you want to see this. Okay, and we're just going to
So real quick, because I'm left-handed, it'd be ideal to have the port coming out to the right side, right?
Yes,
ideally.
But that doesn't exist. Okay. I mean, there are a few left-handed guns like that, but Glock doesn't make any.
Okay.
You'd have to get some custom thing done. So we're just going to rotate the gun. We're going to pinch right here, okay? Pinch the end of the gun here, and we're just going to put a little pressure with our thumb, not a ton, and we're just going to bring it back just that tiny little bit.
I can see it.
So you can see brass in there. Now, when you let go, you're going to let it go all the way. Yeah, you see some brass in there? Yep. Okay, that's called chamber checking. We want to make sure that we have that round all the way in there. Then we're just going to, since we let it come forward, we're just going to give it a little tap on the back. And now we can go ahead and insert the gun into our holsters.
All right.
There we go.
Perfect.
So now let's go ahead and carefully draw our gun, and we'll talk, and we're going to unload our gun now.
Okay.
So just going to unload our guns there. That's fine. That's fine.
I don't need to have
the round came out. Okay. No, but if you want to lock it to the rear just to double check, you can. Nothing wrong with that. Okay, so that is loading and unloading the gun. So we're talking about our draw now. Okay, so when we're doing our draw here, so yeah, go ahead and drop your slide there and go ahead and holster up.
No magazine?
No, you don't need one for this. There you go. So you got your holster, right? So we're going to talk about our draw, right? So step one, remember we want that to build that grip right from the get-go. So we're going to shove the webbing of our hand as far down into this space right here as we can possibly get it with our finger off the trigger, right? So now we're going to pull up and rotate the gun. There you go. So this is one. And we're going to count this off as we do it. It'll be 4 steps here. So this is step 1, right? Step 2, say this is step 2. Step 3, we're going to come here. Our hands are going to come together, and we're going to start to build that grip.
Oh, yeah.
See this space here? Our hand folds in, thumbs wrap this way, okay? And now we're going to present, and we're just going to start pushing towards the target.
And you have all your 4 fingers just wrapped around each other, and your left hand?
So I'm going this way.
Yeah.
My hand kind of chops up into here.
Yep.
It makes contact with the trigger guard here. And I roll my hand this way. Again, I want even pressure with my palm. So not squeezing the gun, but pressure here.
Okay.
So 1, 2, we're going to start rotating the gun as soon as we can, okay, and get it pointed in the same direction as our eyes and our hips, right? Our hands are going to come together. Again, that hand kind of chops that grip in and starts to build that grip here. And then we're going to drive the sights into our eye line, okay? We'll talk about more of that here in just a second, but driving those sights into our eye line is huge. So what a lot of people will do with this, they'll make some mistakes. Here's some common mistakes here. They'll grab the gun and not have a good grip, right? And then they'll kind of sort of do this coming up number like this, you know, like we call this bowling, like you're bowling the gun up. Like this takes forever, and I can't shoot. Now I have a bad grip, and now I do the bobblehead maneuver as I search for my sights. And we want
that's why you've got it here already to begin with.
Correct, so that I can start shooting if I need to right from here immediately.
Right.
If I have to do that. We're not going to do that today, but that's as you get better and better, we'll start to work from a very, very tight space. So what we want to do is picture a dotted line coming out of your eyes to your target, to what you actually want to shoot, and we want to drive the pistol sights into that line where our eye is looking at what we want to shoot.
Is your eye closed, but one eye closed?
No,
or?
both eyes open.
Oh, geez.
Both eyes open.
My eyes are like cross-eyed when I do that.
Both eyes open. We're going to talk about changing your vision here in just a second, and switching your visual acuity here in just a minute. When you're shooting, we talk about front sight focus. If I can borrow your blaster here. So this is your front sight, right? Front sight, rear sight. So your front sight focus means that your visual acuity should be sharp and fixed on the front sight. So your target should appear blurry, and your front sight should appear crystal clear. What most new shooters will do is they're staring at what they're shooting at,
right? And that gets all blurry,
and the sights are blurry, and so you have no clue where those rounds are really going because you're not really aiming. You're pointing the gun. You're not really aiming the sights. You're not utilizing the sights. So how do we fix that, or what should that look like? There's a simple exercise you can do at home. You can do with anybody here. So I want you to just point your finger at me with your fingernail, towards me. So just kind of put your fingernail. So pretend this is the front sight of your pistol, right? So if you're looking at me and I'm your target, I want you to focus your vision so that you can see every little hangnail and every little bit, every little ridge.
I'm perfectly manicured, man.
Fair enough. You can see every detail of your fabulous manicure, yes?
Got it.
Okay, I should appear blurry, yes? Yep. Now I want you, without moving your hand, to just switch the focus of your eyes, make me sharp, look at me, and your fingertips should be blurry.
Yep.
Now switch back.
Okay.
Now switch back.
Okay.
Switch back. What we want is for our focus, because I'm looking at the target, I'm making that decision, like we talked about making decisions, right? So yes, I'm going to shoot this thing. Okay, I drive the sights towards what I want to shoot at. My sights should be crystal clear and my target should be slightly blurry, right? So if you're focused on the target, that's fine. I'm looking at the target. Yes, I need to shoot that. Okay. Then I'm going to drive the gun, drive the sights into line, and I start to prep my trigger. And I go right to there, bang, make my shot, fire, 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 whatever I need to do. Then when I'm done, I'm going to check my work, which is holes in a target, or if he's fallen down, if you shot a person, okay, yes, he's down. Okay, this is the searching and assessing portion. Yes, he's down. Okay, yes, I don't need to shoot anymore. Okay, finger comes off the trigger. I start to break the gun back to this position here. Okay, this is your high compressed ready position. And then I can look around. Okay, do I need to do anything else? No. Do I need to reload? Do I need to holster? Do I need to do whatever it is I need to do? All right, so grab yourself a magazine and your blaster, your eyes and your ears, and we will do some shooting.
Guys, if you're liking the content, please chuck a like on the video, and also don't forget to subscribe. That really helps me with the algorithm to get this video viewed by more of you guys. All right, back to the video.
So let's count out those steps to ourselves out loud. So I'll do it like twice here, and then you'll give it a go, okay? So 1, that's that grip. 2, rotating the gun here. 3, hands come together. 4, the sights go right to my eye line, and I fire my shot. Reset the trigger, index your finger, that don't want to shoot anymore, bring it back, do a little search and assess, make sure everything's okay, holster up the gun. And you can go that slow. You don't need to be blazing fast at first. You need to be nice and smooth.
I was flinched like crazy, man. You'll see it on camera when you shot.
We're going to work the flinchies out, man. So, okay, index your finger. Okay, you don't want to shoot anymore. Cool, bring it back, holster up. So let's work your stance here just a little bit. Let's get your left foot a little bit more forward. Think of just how you would be boxing, right?
See,
because you're right, you're left-handed.
Yeah.
Don't get all ambi on me, man. Like, if you're going to be left-handed, be fucking left-handed, okay? So if you're here like this, right? So I'm right-handed, so I stand left foot forward. So when I go to shoot, it is just like I'm getting ready to fight, except I have this pistol in my hand, okay?
Okay.
I mean, you can do it even-footed. Some people will shoot even-footed, but I don't like it. It's not good.
Yeah.
It's you want to step into it, drive into it, and drive the gun out aggressively.
All right.
So remember, your eyes should be looking at that letter A in the target, right? So let it go forward. There you go. See your sights. Make the orange on your front sight crystal clear and slowly press the trigger. Not bad. Reset your trigger. There you go. There you go. Give that about three or 4 reps. Just shake that out. Not bad. Good consistency.
Just for shit. No, you're right. I feel more comfortable like that with my left foot.
Right.
Yeah.
So lean forward just a bit. Not bad. Index. There you go. Okay. Let's get like 2 more reps in. Front sight crystal clear. Very good. Like this into my, high up into my chest as I can get it. Right. Then my hands come together. Then I drive out.
Oh wait. Okay.
See what I mean?
Yeah.
So yeah, you want to get that grip.
Get it facing forward right away.
Yes. As soon as you can. Yes. Yes. When I press the trigger, right? So should be like this. I go to drop my finger in. You have to find out where your finger needs to be. It's a little bit different for each person, but the important part is that this finger bone here stay nice and straight, and this one stay as straight as possible. So what we don't want is this. Right. Now it's awkward because our fingers curl. Right? They do this. Okay, that's normal. We want to build it to do this.
Okay, so you don't want to bend. You don't want to bend at this.
As little bend as possible.
Like that.
Correct. Like this.
Okay, you know
as much. Yeah, there you go. As much as that, as much of that as we can comfortably get.
Without that, right?
Right. We don't want this, because what this does, see, that turns, it spins it. Now you're left-handed, so your shots are going to go to the right. I'm right-handed. My shots would go to the left. I want to start pushing the trigger back, and you'll feel what we call the wall. I'm going to take the slack. This is called the slack. See how much sponge there is? I take the slack out of the trigger. I go right to the wall. You'll feel it when the trigger gets stiff. Okay. Then right as I'm about to press it, I just focus on the front sight, Try not to move the gun or disturb it. And get a nice clean press to the rear. So go ahead and start to prep and start to feel that wall.
Feel it.
Okay, press it. Very good. Reset it. No, go. So instead of drawing every time now, I want you to keep the gun. You can bring it back if you want to, but just get those good trigger presses. Get your foot forward just a little bit. Yeah. There you go.
Yeah, yeah.
And just after a while, this will feel normal. But new shooting is all about learning. That's not terrible at all. We will take that.
So what's the marker for?
We're going to mark the edges of these holes so that when we shoot new holes in them, we'll know the old holes from new holes.
Nice.
You can put tape over them too, but the marker's faster.
Yeah.
So that's not bad. Like I said, any kind of group that you can look at, little grouping, you can cover it with a fist is generally acceptable, generally considered decent. As we push our distance back, this group will go until we start tightening it up. And that's okay. We're going to tighten it up. There we go. You can see these are flyers, and I called it. That was my grip. That was just kind of a little grip there. That was probably a little flinchy, but the rest of that's not bad. Again, I hadn't shot in a while. I can do better when I really take my time and focus, but that's okay. We're just trying to build some reps at a medium speed to see what we can do. We're going to do a little rhythm drill work and a little trigger control practice, okay? 2 shots. So when we're shooting our trigger here, right, we're going to fire the gun. We're going to count 1 and 2 because we're going to fire 2 shots.
Okay.
So we're just going to learn 1 and 2. Remember, I see the sights, come out, 1, and reset the 2. So our goal is to get these shots to be the same speed and the same rhythm.
Okay.
Right? 1 and 2. There you go. 1, and remember, see the sights both times. 1 and 2. 1 and 2. Very good. So you only have 1 flyer there. So go ahead and hold, index your finger, go ahead and holster up.
So one guy was
yeah, this guy right here was your 1 flyer. All the rest were very good. They were right in here. So that's already starting to tighten up significantly, and that's just better pressing of the trigger and getting more comfortable and learning to see those sights. Let's go with a 4-round rhythm drill.
Okay.
So same as the 1 and 2. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4. So each number is a shot, is a press of the trigger and a sight picture, right? So I see my sights. 1. I reset the trigger on the word and 2 and 3 and 4. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4. Okay. Now I am not, admittedly, the best rhythm drill shooter, because I tend to get off a bit. And as you get better and better,
you were rushing.
What's that?
You were rushing.
Oh, that?
Yeah, you're counting.
Oh, yeah. See, that's I tend to do that.
All right. What?
Oh, that's why we chamber check. So we wanted to. You're dead. So okay, you're there. So okay. Gun went click. So tap the magazine, rack the slide. Now fire.
That's a good habit to get into.
That's why we chamber check when we are loading the gun. Slow down just a bit and really concentrate on sights and fingers, sights and fingers, sights and fingers.
With each shot, right?
Yes, with each shot. See the sights. That was way better. So lean forward just a hair, because what's starting to happen, so index your finger. There you go. So what starts to happen is when we start, people are like, oh, I can shoot however I want for 2 shots. Yeah, you can. When we start shooting more shots, even at 4, what's starting to happen if you're not forward and aggressively behind the gun, is that recoil is going to start doing this to you, and your sight starts to track high, and the shots go bye-bye, and they go all over the place. Awesome. Awesome. So go ahead and holster up. You're out anyway, so yeah, we'll get a reload here in a minute. Considered good.
So I got some low ones and some high ones. So
that's learning to manage recoil. No, people say control the recoil. You're never going to control recoil. Recoil recoils. It's going to do what it's going to do. So, but learn to manage it the best you possibly can.
That's yours.
Yes.
That's crazy.
Well, I do this for a while, and I mean, and I'm not even the best shooter, and I hadn't shot in a while either. But
So I am shooting off to the right a little bit.
Natural for a left-handed shooter.
Okay.
I'll show you why in just a second. But consistency that we want to have is what we're looking for. And the more consistent you can be, consistent in your grip, consistent in your stance.
I think it's my finger. It's my finger.
The number one culprit is a bad trigger pull, and that's totally normal. So you said you were noticing this drift to the right. That's completely normal for a left-handed shooter, and here's why. If I've got my gun here and I'm getting too much of this going on, see how, now I'm exaggerating, of course, but see how it's pushing my hand off to the right. So picture, you know, if I had the gun here and I'm squeezing the trigger that way.
Are you better off putting your trigger, the trigger on this part of your knuckle, like after the knuckle bend?
You have to find where it's best for you. I know it's a crappy answer, but it's the answer. You got to find what works for you. I'll show you what works for me. It might work for you. It might not. My comp's getting loose. Anyway, so we're talking about that trigger placement, right? Where your finger's going to go on there. Okay. And if I get, see, nice and flat, see that straight bone, right? What happens? I get a nice clean press to the rear. See how the gun doesn't move?
Right.
That's our goal.
Okay.
So what's normal and natural for all shooters do it, new shooters do it a lot, is we want to monkey curl our finger around this thing, and see how when I do too much curl, see how it moves to the right.
Show me the right way again.
If I'm right-handed, for right-handed shooters, they'll shoot it to the left.
Right.
And so they'll get rounds drifting left. Left-handers will get rounds drifting right. So for me, I put about there.
So you're on the you're actually before the first knuckle. Okay.
I'm right there for me, for my finger. And everybody's hands are different shapes and sizes, so you got to find what works for you. But the general rule is straight finger, straight as you can get on the other finger, right? Well, I pull the trigger right like this. I want to pull. I want to go right to the wall, and you'll have to learn where your wall and your trigger is. Right. I go right to that wall where it starts to get stiff, and then I get that nice. Boop. Now this is a real pain in the ass.
Dot. Oh, those
dots.
Things.
Yeah, we got to shoot those. Oh, there you go. So I would chamber check it. Remember, build that habit of checking that chamber so you don't have a click when you should hear a bang. So go ahead and holster that thing up. There you go. And now what I would do too is you got an extra mag in your pocket.
Yes.
So you emptied your emergency reload, so refill it because you have the time right now. You know what I mean? There you go. Perfect. Yeah. Take the first left dot, that very first one.
Okay.
Top left. And just take your time.
Jeez,
you had a giant jerky flinchy.
Because you know I didn't hit the wall.
Yes, you jerked that trigger. You jerked it.
Let me try it again. Come on, man.
That's it. Just like once you draw on this one, just bring back the high compress ready each time.
Okay.
So that you don't have to focus on the draw, because I don't want you to focus on too many different things at the same time. Not bad, little low. That's okay. It's flinchy. Okay, relax. Good, clean trigger press.
Let me figure out where I want my finger.
Not bad.
Dude, that's hard.
It's way hard. Shooting a 1-inch dot or 1-inch square, whatever. You know, yeah, they're hard.
Nice.
They're hard. It's a challenge. Wait till we start pushing those and we have to shoot them from further back.
So I got 1 out of 5.
That's okay.
3 out of 3.
That's okay. Well, I did do this for a while. So we tried that. Let's take a little bit of distance.
All right.
Here. Yeah. Right about here is good. So let's start here. And we'll just try some headshots at 7.
Headshots at 7.
Headshots at 7. Not a big deal. Okay. Just going to come out, shoot some heads at 7. Okay. Shoot some heads at 7. Heads. 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 5 shots. At your own speed. Take your time. In the neck. Not bad. Not bad. Okay.
Am I getting there?
Yeah, you're getting low.
I'm low.
You're low.
Jeez.
That's okay. That's just flinchies. One more. Okay, holster up. Let's take a quick peek. So low and to the right.
So why am I
completely normal for a left-handed shooter?
So why low?
Why low? That is the flinchies. That's why I was saying it's the flinchies. And we're going to do an exercise to try to fix the flinchies here in just a second.
So that's anticipation?
Recoil anticipation, otherwise known as the dreaded flinchies. Yeah, so what you're doing is a normal human reaction, right? I'm here shooting this gun. All right, I'll do it left-handed for the camera here. So, you know, I'm here shooting this gun. Your brain says, hey, dummy, this thing's about to go bang in my face, right? That's what your brain is, your subconscious is telling you. So you go, I know what we'll do. I know what we'll do. We'll force it down. We'll flinch it down. And that's
to combat the
recoil and the noise and the bang. And so it's very normal. So that's the low. The right we talked about, that's the trigger.
Okay.
Right? A trigger and grip. So too much trigger, not enough for you to be your right hand. For a right-handed shooters, I call it lazy left hand. This hand, I've got this grip. No, you don't. Like this hand is here and it looks good, but it's not doing anything. It's just sort of sitting here lame-like, right? It's lazy left hand. So for you to be lazy right hand. So we want to make sure that that grip is even, and we've got even pressure around the gun, nice straight trigger pulls, and no flinchies, right? Now, so how do we fix the flinchies? I'm going to put this on here. Now, as you got a nice unloaded gun, you're going to take a shot, a trigger press. Okay, and you're going to try not for this to fall off. So, drive on out there. Pull trigger. Not bad. Right slide. Now, without that there, aim and pull the trigger. Did you feel that? That little dip?
Yeah, I felt it.
That was your flinching. Now, here at this distance, it's going to be like, boop, that low, like a finger width low. At that distance, it'll be 2 inches low. At 7 yards, it'll be 2 feet.
Even with nothing in here.
10 yards is 2 feet.
Freaking feel it. Come on. I'm doing it again, dude.
You saw the flea. Do you feel it though?
Yeah, yeah.
So that's what's happening.
How do you, I can't.
It's your brain.
God.
It's your brain. It's your stupid brain trying to save you from this gun going bang. Oh, that was me.
Okay, I can feel the flinch anyways.
So what I want you to do is pull that trigger, no flinching.
Less, but I still...
Less, but you felt it, but that's okay. So good even grip, pressure here. Yeah, there we go. That was very good. Yeah, okay. You see how that didn't move?
I think part of that, squeezing the hands together helped too.
Putting pressure at the rear. So it's not death grip on the gun.
No, it's more like hands.
It's pressure around the gun, if that makes sense. So yeah, take your time, get your good stance, good grip, sight alignment, sight picture, clean trigger press, shoot him in the face. Not bad. Not bad. There we are. Look at that. Look at that.
Much better.
Much better. To show you on the range, the #1 cause of missed shots is poor trigger press. The #1 cause of poor trigger press is poor grip. Right? So they work together. Right, and then you add in flinchies and a whole bunch of other variables, and you have crappy shooting. Yeah. So,
but I think the grip also played a factor in my flinchies as well.
Absolutely, it does. 100% it does. Yeah. If you tighten that thing up and get it nice and solid, it's harder for you to do the flinching. Right. If you get that loosey goosey thing going on, it goes all over the place. Right. So yeah, that's not bad.
Every shot, I think every shot.
You had 0 misses. Right. That is awesome, man. Awesome. That is I'm very happy with that.
Yeah, I'm happy with that too.
But you see how just in what 30 minutes, we've gone from, we were having a hard time at 3.5, 4 yards with a 1-inch dot to moving to 6 to 7 yards and drilling faces.
Yeah, that's awesome.
That is awesome.
Dude. Sweet, thanks, man.
Yeah.
So what do you like about the 1911 that we're about to fire versus the
grip?
Glock? The grip.
The trigger, the grip. As soon as you shoot it, you tell me what you like about it. Well, instead of me telling you.
Well, last time I mentioned, because I carried this one at JB's or one like it. Yeah. Was the grip where the dovetail, or what you call the gopher tail, beaver tail, where it feels like it's.
Although I'm going to start calling them gopher tails.
the way it sits, like in. Thank you. The way it sits in my hand, like right here, it's snug perfectly. Whereas with the Glock, it felt like there's a gap between.
Yes. So what you're describing is often referred to as grip angle. So you're nice and loaded, your safety's on. So everything will be the same, right? Your grip, your stance, everything. The only difference is as you come out and you get ready to shoot, you'll knock your safety off. I'm pulling the trigger, no shooting. That has to be pushed in.
So it's like an extra safety of some sort.
It's an extra safety from back in the day when the guys were running with these on horseback.
Right.
They didn't want it going off. Right. Yeah, from horseback. It had to be gripped and then racked and shot from horseback.
That's cool.
That's how old the design is.
That's a cool design, though.
Yeah. Sweet. So we're like, oh, this thing is grip safety. Do you ride horses? Yeah. Like, I mean, I don't. So I mean,
well, it's an extra safety though, which is good.
It is. Yeah. So, but that's why it's there. Trigger is way different, so get a feel for that trigger. It's just a little, so okay, so put your safety on. Yep, you just pop it up. There you go, very good. So
I got it
first shot.
Right in the center.
There you go.
That black square. This was easy to fire than a Glock.
Well, you hit it. I'm not going to call that the center.
You're right.
But that's okay.
Most of it is in the square.
Yeah. But yeah, give me another one. See if it's a fluke. Little low flinchies. So just shorten up your finger. There you go. Now, what I want you to do is just bring it back. See that sight? Oh, good hit. You hit it. Good hit. You hit it again. A little off. There you go. Hit it again. So push safety on. Shame. So very first hit was you've corded it out, which is awesome. So we always want to core out holes. But anyway, so that was not you. These were you. So this was not you either. So these are you. Okay. So this is too much finger pushing it over, or lazy right hand, right? This is probably just, that happens. And these two are going to be flinchies. I think this might have been you too. Can't remember now.
Can I fire the Glock now to compare? And all right, aiming for dead center here. Here we go.
Dead nut center. Give it to me.
Ah, that was bad.
Nice. Okay.
Yeah,
your mistake?
that was it. Yeah.
Okay, but it's awesome that you called it because you already are making that association in your brain. Oh, I fucked that up.
Yeah.
That's awesome because that starts bringing you along as a shooter very quickly when you go, oh, I knew I made a mistake, and I know I need to make a follow-up shot. That's awesome. Versus, I have no idea where that went.
Where the hell did all the others go?
Right here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and there's one there.
Okay, so it's a bit. So I've just gotten better at it.
Yes.
But the
one day of practice.
Yeah.
But yes.
But the 1911.
Yeah.
2011 felt better in my hand. It was just
intuitive.
Right.
It points better because of the grip angle. So like, I guess, inflation prices. Yeah, I think these are like $1,500, $1,600, something like that. And they go up to several $1,000s depending on whose brand you buy. Glocks are between like $500 and $650 or something like that. You know what I mean? For your standard Glock.
Right. Give me the run through of this shotgun right here.
Okay. There's really nothing special about this one. It's a Benelli short barrel shotgun.
That sounds Italian.
It is.
Yeah.
It is. It's an Italian shotgun. So, and we're just going to take it out and we're going to shoot it and we're going to look at some, I don't want to call it myth busting per se, but there's a lot of perceived ideas with shotguns that we're gonna just take apart and look at on the range and see what they do and what they don't do.
What's the difference between like slugs and pellets or whatever?
I didn't bring any slugs, but a slug turns this thing essentially into a giant
rifle.
Yeah, it's not rifled, but yes, yeah. For all intents and purposes, a giant rifle. You're going to shoot typically 1 ounce of lead at something. It's very, very powerful, and it turns this thing into a giant, giant one shot versus the pellets, right? And go ahead, your safety is going to be
right there.
Yeah, yep. Down there. So now you're going to want to put some mass into this because it is going to recoil.
So do I step forward my left?
Yes,
okay.
Because it's going to recoil quite a bit.
I'm not looking forward to this, dude.
Well, just line up. It's just shotgun. You'll be all right.
All right.
So put some mass into it. And okay, so hang on. Before you fire, put an extra finger. Tell us what you think your pattern is going to be on this. What typical?
What I'm going to aim for?
No. What you think is going to happen?
It's going to look similar to what's already on there.
Okay.
Do I want my chin touching this?
Yes.
Okay.
You want to wrap as much of your body around it as possible. So pop your safety. There you go. Sorry, because it's on the other side.
Oh, I see.
Whoa. Okay.
That was not fun.
Okay. Well, so yeah, you got your
similar spread
chunk of pellets. Yeah, exactly. And that's how that's going to go. So all this idea that it's going to spread out and cover your entire target,
yeah,
versus what you just did with a pistol,
right,
or what we'll be able to do with rifles, So go ahead and put your safety on there. There you go. We'll just walk down here. Yeah, the farther you go. So let's take a yard back.
The more spread,
let's say 2 yards back. Right? So now we're approaching the 7-ish yard range. There you go. So remember to take your safety off when you're ready to fire. So it's going to be from the other side.
So the safety resets?
You have to no, I put it on.
Okay.
It's manual, but so go ahead, line yourself up and give us a shot. There we go. Okay. So
I mean, it's not that bad, but it's not a handgun, I'll tell you that.
no, it's not. Look at how much gunpowder's in there. It changed. So yes.
So this was the first shot right here.
Correct.
And this is the second shot at 7 yards. This was like what, 3 yards?
Yeah, this is a rock. So yeah, you're starting to get some of this. And this giant hole, that's just the plastic wadding. Don't pretend that doesn't matter.
So this is at 3 yards, and this is at 7 yards, roughly.
Right. So the thing about shotguns is each shotgun is different, and each shotgun with each round that you buy, each commercially available round is different, right? Okay. How it's going to perform and how it's going to pattern, what the pattern is going to look like. You also have to deal with, for the trade-off in power that you get out of this, how much recoil are you dealing with, and the age-old myth of, I'm just going to give my wife a shotgun because she never trains.
Dude, trying to fire that from your bed if like someone's...
And remember, this is a short one.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? They're typically several inches longer.
Right.
So you get more weight out at the front end.
Wow.
So anyway, that's just a little bit about shotguns.
So it's just really loud, and it's
cumbersome. Also, we're in the outdoor range here. You know what I mean? So as soon as you start running these things around
in a hallway,
and already there, you know, I'm going to do what's called high sticking, which is you're going to run this shotgun up off of your shoulder because it shortens it up. And this is a short barreled shotgun.
Yeah.
So, you know, to get it a little bit shorter and a little bit more maneuverable until you can start to run the gun. But this idea that you're just going to pick up your standard 18 or 20-inch barreled shotgun and run around with it and it's going to be great and wonderful, it's not the one-stop solution that the guy at the gun counter who sold it to you told you it was.
Right.
You know, you can't mess with it. Yes, you can.
Yeah.
We'll do a little bit of rifle shooting. You can kind of see what that feels like back to back. A little bit of carbine. We'll shoot that filthy AK you like so much.
Oh yeah, nice.
So here.
AK-47?
Technically, these are like AKMs, we call them, because the AK-47 stopped being made a very long time ago. It didn't last in production very long because it was too expensive, but it's been replaced with this, and then later replaced with the AK-74. So we just call them AKMs. It's all AK pattern guns. But yes, short answer for everybody, it is an AK-47.
Nice.
Shoots the 7.62x39, the full-size round, not the lighter one that the 74 shoots. So yeah, we'll take this thing out and we'll shoot a bit. The magazines do what a lot of Euro style and foreign design weapons do. They do not go straight into the gun like an AR or like a pistol does. They have to do what's called rock and lock. Okay, so it's got a tabby and it hooks into this god-awful chunk of sheet metal. Sorry, this expertly designed piece of superior aerospace engineering, and it locks in like that. Should always give it a wiggle to make sure that it actually is locked in there. Oh, look, it rattles. So safety is this.
Oh yeah,
this thing
ginormous
that you. Ow! It pinched me. It does that. This thing over here, and then charging handle is here. So come on out here, Pierre, and we'll give this a go.
All right. This is better. All right. So dot.
Yeah, just for right now, just dot and pull the trigger.
I'm gonna go for the head.
Okay. Okay. Right next to it. There you go. Nice. So hold what you got and put it on safe. So you ever shot an AK before?
Nope, that was it. That was my first time.
Well, there's your 4 shots right there.
They were a little low.
Oh yeah, but it's just learning where to place your dot. You're gonna have to float your dot a little higher. I didn't tell you that part because I just wanted to see what was going to happen. But point is, those are very good shots. So look at how much time we spent shooting a pistol today, and you picked up an AK.
Yeah.
And in 30 seconds, have figured out what your potential accuracy is.
That dot's a lot. It was very helpful.
Yes, it is. And well, I'm not going to give you the god-awful iron peasant sights of the original AK because can they be used? Of course they can. Are people good with them? I'm sure someone out there is. But by God, why? Anyway, but yes.
It's like using a handsaw versus a chainsaw. It's like
correct. It's not. It works, but why?
Yeah. You know, can we pull farther back and give it a shot?
We absolutely shall.
All right.
bring your dot up, float your dot above his head. Just a little bit. There you go. Good. All right. So these were your initial shots,
and right? When you told me to aim higher.
And then I told you to float your dot a little higher, and you have some of those. And I think probably one of those.
Yeah.
So somewhere in there. So, but it doesn't matter. You can see the size of your groups. For that was the second time in your entire life that you shot
at 9 yards to the farthest.
So at 9 or 10 yards, which is kind of typically somewhere around a reasonable self-defense distance for most people. You're able to do that. So that just goes to show you the usefulness of. We talked about, right, weapon as a tool, gun as a tool. So, what is the most useful tool for you? And I'm not here to tell you what the answer is. It's fucking carbine. But what a rifle will be able to do for you instantly, with you had 30 seconds of explanation about how that gun works.
Right.
Yeah. So that's what you're looking at.
Will it be easier with one of your customized ones?
Oh, with an AR, just any AR will be easier to shoot because it's not so clunky chunky.
Yeah. All right.
In fact, let's do an exercise here just for laughs, because we're just kind of showing some basic accuracy. Now I want to show more what you can do in a big fat hurry if you need to. So we'll shoot on the clean white target over there, and you're going to take this gun at same 10 yards, and you're going to put 5 rounds into him quite fast as you can. Okay. Don't think about it. Put the dot in the center and give me 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Rhythm drill. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Here we go. Okay. So those are a little jumpy, and that's okay. I did tell you to shoot as fast as you can, but you hit them. Yeah. Now they're all on there. So now slow it down just a little bit and focus on that dot. And give me 1, 2, 3, 4.
I'm going to go for the middle right square.
Okay. There we go. That's a little bit better. Yeah. Yeah. Okay.
So the beginning shots were the fast ones were all over the place.
And that was, and again, I kind of knew it was going to be that way, but because I didn't tell you, the more you can tighten, just like we tighten up that grip, the more you can tighten up your stance.
Hug it.
Yeah, you get less herky jerky. But the point is, in a big fat hurry, you kept them all on the target. Yeah. You know what I mean? And then when we slowed down a little bit and we focused a little bit more, we're able to hit those dots.
It's a hell of a lot more accurate than the handgun, I'll tell you that.
And that's a filthy AK with crappy ammunition in it.
Right.
You know what I mean? The AR is going to be way, way better and tighter. So you're just making some headshots there.
That's crazy. So, I didn't think you could fire it that fast.
We're talking about like quickly putting shots onto a target.
Pum.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
Yeah.
The how much faster and how much more firepower you can get out of a rifle, that much faster than you can any of the other tools that we've looked at.
Yeah, it's night and day.
It's not even close.
Yeah.
So this idea, like in Israel, we're talking about, we're like, oh, they have pistols. Well, they're fighting 30 guys with those. Right. With body armor and rifles.
Oh, you mean Hamas with the AK-47s?
Yeah, and body armor and the whole bit. Like they're getting more modernized. You know what I mean? So to sit there and say, oh, we're going to finally give you guys rifles back. Well, thanks. Day late, dollar short. But I mean, cool. Be nice to have.
And then the ammunition that it carries, that it fires versus the AK?
Good old, compared to an AK. So, and again, AKs and nowadays ARs come in a lot of flavors. But if we're talking standard rounds, So
that's the AK round right there?
Yeah, this is the original 7.62 by, give it up, 39.
7.62, that's .762?
7.62 by 39 millimeters.
Okay, so it's smaller than a 9mm, but it's got more gunpowder.
Oh, way more, yeah. So you can see compared to an AR round.
On the right there.
Yeah.
So how many, what's the AR round size?
5.56 millimeters by 45.
It's almost half the size of a 9mm.
Correct, yeah, it's very tiny. Look at the bullet. It's wee. And if we compare it...
so why not have a bigger...
You can. You can make them way bigger, but remember the trade-off for bigger is more recoil, and the gun has to be bigger too.
I thought, wouldn't the recoil be because of how much gunpowder is in it?
Well, both.
But you need the gunpowder anyways, regardless.
To project the fatter bullet,
right?
With any kind of reasonable speed or distance. So yeah, you can make ARs or AKs in any number of flavored calibers, but these are the standard, typical original calibers. And for new shooters, do not run out. I do not recommend that you run out and buy a boutique caliber rifle, something. Oh, it's got this nifty caliber that nobody carries.
Right.
You know, go get a standard one. The ammo's cheaper. It's more available. Learn to shoot on it, and then after you.
And you said standard is 0.5 or 5
yeah,
what?
Yeah, 223 or 5.56, or if you're in AKs. AKs come in 2 major calibers.
Sorry,
nowadays.
real quick. 223 and 5.56. One's just the metric system, and one's the American.
Correct.
System, but they're the same size, right?
Yeah.
223 is American, and 5.56 is millimeters.
It's the NATO caliber because it's NATO. You know what I mean? Like we made all of Europe adopt it.
Right.
Because they all want to be in the NATO club.
So the universal is 5. Is how would you?
223 or 5.56. You can say it either way.
Either way. Okay.
Either way. They're for all intents and purposes.
Okay.
They're
how would most people say what they say is 223? Doesn't matter. It really doesn't matter. Okay.
Doesn't matter.
All right.
If you say 223 in Europe, no one's going to know what you're talking about.
Okay.
But I mean, it's like saying how many pounds you bench.
Right.
They don't know what that means. So, you know, it's just a metric thing. But but the AK round is bigger, you know, and that, I guess, to some degree has some advantage, but you pay for it with it's a little thuddier, it's a little more recoil.
Yeah.
You know, these used to be dirt cheap, now they're not, but you know.
All right, well, let's do this.
Yeah, let's.
So this 16 is standard.
Yeah.
And the 11.5, you have to get
a shorty. Yeah.
Which means you have to pay extra to get it. You have
correct.
You have to get clearance for it.
Yeah, correct.
And what do they call that?
Short barrel license. Short barreled rifle.
And you have to get it like that for everyone that you buy. Pay that extra tax, basically.
Yeah, for any suppressor any class 3 items. So any suppressor that you buy, short barreled shotgun that you buy, short barreled rifle you buy, you got to pay an extra $200. But that's hard.
So when I grab it, finger goes here.
So with rifle mags, I beer can grip.
Okay. So you put it here.
Different.
Boom.
Yes, and you're going to want to learn to grab right away from the bottom.
From the bottom. Oh,
from the bottom. So it's your finger. What I do is I hang my pinky off this little lip. Loading our rifle, right? We want to bring, again, the gun into our workspace, just like we do with our pistol, right? So we're going to bring the gun in here. If it gets too tippy this way, just trap it against your body here so that you're just kind of resting it there, okay? We're going to grab our magazine, like before we indexed, and some people do this with rifle mags too. I don't. I grab from the bottom with my pinky hanging off the bottom. That way I know when I go to insert it, okay, that I have plenty of room. If I grab the magazine too far up, I go,
Your hands might get, okay.
And then I have to pound it in.
I see.
We don't want that. We want to go one insert, and we're going to push till in there, and then we're going to give a little tug just to make sure that it's seated all the way, okay? Then we're going to either drop our bad lever or thumb on the button if you don't have them. All of my guns have bad levers. So there. So we just chambered
that's like a rack, right?
Correct. You can also use the charging handle, but I did it from an open bolt. So
okay, so mine's not open, so I can do either one, right?
Yeah, so you can use the charging handle. So you're going to bring it up, insert, push, pull, give it a little tug, make sure it's in there. Good.
Oh, it's not.
So I think what I did is I did that on purpose. I loaded this thing full. Remember we said don't load 30 rounds into a magazine because your bolt's closed. It doesn't want to go. Now try again.
Okay. Yes. That's important.
That's important to know.
Yeah. So now I can rack it, hit like this?
Yeah.
Not a wing, no?
No, you just grab the whole thing and let it go. Very good.
All right, cool.
So now to chamber check it, you're going to bring this up in your workspace. Okay. There you go. Good.
There.
And you're going to use this hand to grab this charging handle and pull just like a 1/4 inch. Pull it back, pull it back. There you go. Do you see brass? Keep going.
Yeah, I see it. Okay.
See that? Let it go. Let it go. Yeah, there you go. And push your thumb on this guy.
What is this guy?
That is your forward assist. It pushes.
Can I use this?
Yeah, no? That's fine. Yes, you can use that.
Oh, okay, yeah.
Yeah, because you're wrong-handed. The rest of us have to.
That's actually good.
There you go. So your safety is here, right? So your thumb activates it.
Okay.
Now your safety is ambi. All my guns are set up with ambi safety.
Oh, there's one over here.
Correct. All my guns are set up with ambidextrous safeties because I like to take the safe off with my thumb. Right. Then you're going to fire. Right. Okay. Now when I go to put the safety back on, I use my trigger finger.
Oh, get out of here.
Boom,
boom.
So thumb goes off safe, index finger sweeps it back on. Now that's a me thing. That's not a...
No, well, because trying to pull it back after to get the safety back on.
You can do it with your thumb. Tons of people do.
Yeah.
I've learned to do it that way with traditional, standard, generic AR
I don't like the
safeties.
safety.
I like to
That way.
use my index finger to sweep the safety back on.
Yeah,
so
much
my
better.
trigger finger comes off the trigger, sweeps the safety back on. It's clear the trigger.
You really got to learn your own rifle. Yeah, for
Gotta
sure.
learn your tools, man.
Okay.
So what I want you to do. So there you go. Can you see your dot?
Yes.
Okay, good. So take your sail. Good. Your safety's off. Okay, so pop your safety back on. There you go. Good. So when you're going to come up, you're going to drive your safety off. You're going to see your dot, and I want you to fire one round, one nice little trigger pull.
What am I aiming for?
Center chest. Good. Okay. Hold on. Hold what you got. Okay. So here's.
That was my first shot earlier.
That's your first shot. These are your other shots. Okay. This is completely normal. So you're low. You put the dot here. Okay. And so you're going to be low. That is completely normal because all AR-15s have a 2-inch hold over, right, at close range. So that means that you put the dot here, it's going to be low. So that means if we want to run this, now, does it matter if we're just trying to hit in this A-zone box? Not really.
Not really, yeah.
But if we want to start to become a good shooter, we're going to start learning where our holdovers are. So what I want you to do is float your dot up here, okay?
At what point, what distance does...
Not till we get way further back. So all of your typical self-defense distances, if you're using an AR, you're going to be 2 inches, you're going to be at least 2 inches low.
Okay, so
that's normal because, and the reason is because the bullet comes out of here.
Right.
But the sight is up here. So we can see we have this much distance. And looky.
Right.
See that distance?
Yep.
So we need to flip that distance up. So I want you to float your dot kind of high.
Okay.
Okay. And give me another 3 shots.
Okay.
Very nice. Pop your gun on safe. Good. So that's very good.
1, 2.
That's fine. Yeah.
Two of
them right there. You keyhole 2 of them. See, that's 2. See how it's not two holes right there.
Oh, nice. Oh, keyhole. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. You call them when they're touching like that.
Nice.
So, so that's your 3 shots. So that's very good, and that's perfectly acceptable for what we're shooting at right now. You know what I mean? We're not going to necessarily drill the A. We don't have to. We just need to get some nice tight little groupings in here, which is what we're doing. We're just going to run a nice little 1-up drill. This is your 1-up. This is the building block of all your other shooting, right? So you're here in your low ready position. Okay, you can do it from a high ready position too. We'll practice both. But for now, we'll start the low ready. The low ready, I start with the stock in my shoulder. I'm in my shooting stance, more or less. I'm going to drive the gun up onto the target like this. I'm going to see my dot. I'm going to snap my safety off. I'm going to prep my trigger, same as the pistol. Take my shot, bang, bang. Oh, I said a 1-up, sorry. So 1 shot, bang, okay. Index my finger. Am I done shooting? Yes, I'm done shooting. Weapon comes on safe. Weapon comes down. I can look around, search and assess, decide whatever else I need to do. Okay.
Are you pulling that in any direction, like to keep it stable?
I snug it up, but it's not a death grip. Okay. Like I should be able to hold it like this. So this hand is just kind of holding and working my controls. My controls being my safety and my trigger.
Let me get the safety on. Bum, 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 bum.
Yeah. Now lean. Remember, you're going to want to lean into this thing as much as you can.
Right. Okay. So, bum, 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 bum.
Very good. Bum. Down. Now look around. Anything else going on behind you? Okay. You know, that search and assess. We do that to start trying to teach you to start breaking tunnel vision after a shooting experience.
Right.
Because you tend to have tunnel vision. So you want to start breaking that tunnel vision, look around, you know, see what else is going on. So we're going to work a rhythm drill, same as before.
Perfect.
Now that trigger is real slick on that gun. Okay?
I mean, it fires easily.
Yeah, it'll be real clean on the break. Okay, so in other words, when you take the slack out, you're going to feel the wall, and it's going to shoot fast. Okay. Yeah.
So there's not much.
So no, there's not a lot of slack. It's not sloppy. It's real clean. So a rhythm drill. We'll start. We got rifles. Let's go to 4 right off the bat. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4. So 1 and 2 and 3 and 4. Just 1 and 2 and 3 and 4. Try to keep them close, nice and smooth. And very good. So look at that. You can see it from here, right?
Yeah.
They're all right in there.
Yeah.
It's slightly bigger than a thumbnail, but you're shooting a little bit faster. But that is not bad at all. So now give me faster. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4.
Okay.
Awesome. Look at that. I can see them from here. So you shot a little bit faster. So when you're slower, your groups were thumbnail size. You shot a little bit faster. Your groups are what? The size of a quarter?
Right.
You know, now we're close. So let's go back a yard or two. Awesome. On safe?
On safe.
Okay, good.
He stayed pretty accurate, even though I stepped farther back.
Absolutely. Looks like we got one little flyer there, but that's not a big deal. The majority of them are still, we're now talking about, you know, slightly, 2 thumbs, you know, something like that. So let's take another 2 yards. See, right, this is going to happen very fast with a rifle, right? See how much faster we're getting? So we're at like 15, 16-ish yards, something like that. This is still relatively very close for a rifle, but this is well beyond your average shooter's capability with a pistol.
Sure.
Most people start to really, really fall apart at the 12 to 15 yard. New shooters with pistols. Shotgun, your spread would be
huge.
You wouldn't be getting all the pellets on the target necessarily, depending on which loading you're using. So give me 4 shots. Take them as fast or as slow as you feel you can make the hits.
Okay.
See how before you were starting to get rocked back, and see how that starts to come up?
Right.
So yeah, lean into the gun.
Elbows in?
Yes, absolutely. Okay, cool. Pop that on safe.
Unfortunately, I was aiming for that.
That's okay. You see how you're still low?
Yeah.
You know, you're still low. So
why is it hitting low though, do you think? Is there a way to tell? Or
we still have that holdover. We still have that holdover. That holdover is not going to go away till we get further
so
back.
I should have aimed a bit higher if I wanted to hit.
Yes. These high shots before were you getting rocked back.
I see. Okay. So I should still be going for the dot if I want to hit the A.
Correct. At 25 yards, that dot becomes point of aim, point of impact. Give me 4. Okay. I'll take that. Look, 1, 2, 3, and 4 got lost somewhere probably in that mess.
Yeah.
Because you don't have any flyers. But notice how, with the exception of this, you just got rocked back on your heels a little bit.
Yeah.
You're keeping all of those shots
and within that range,
within this range.
Yeah.
You know, for what your second time really shooting a rifle.
Right.
So we're talking about like how fast we're going to skill build.
Right.
With a rifle, what we can do quickly with a rifle that's set up nicely. For granted, it has a dot, good trigger, yada yada, but that's all doable. You know, we'll put you in a good space fast.
Just wait till they have laser guns in the 40-watt range.
Again, I'll take a 38-watt range. I don't know. Like, I'll take what they got. We'll take it further back. Then I'll tell you what. We'll push it back. Yeah. We'll check our shots. Then we'll push it back in, and we'll work on multiple targets.
Oh, nice.
Going across all 3 targets.
That sounds great.
So okay, so we're at 20-something-ish, 23-ish, 25-ish, 20-something-ish yards here. Okay, so you know, now we're going to be a lot more point of aim, point of impact. We're hitting that distance where the dot is going to be where it is. You don't have to float it anymore.
Okay.
Okay. So keep the dot in the center, but at this distance, it's also hard to see that little A. Yeah. Right. You're just putting a dot out there. So just put the dot in the center, basically where you've been putting it.
Okay.
You know, and pull the trigger 4 times.
All right.
Take your time on the shots because we're a little further away.
Yeah.
So it's going to be a little more shaky. And at this distance, all the little things matter a lot more than they do at closer ranges. Sure. Any mistake will be amplified significantly.
Yep.
At this distance.
That makes sense.
Nice. I like it. I don't see any flyers.
Huh.
So looks like 1, 2, 3, and the 4th one is lost in that mess somewhere. Yeah. But so you just went to roughly 20, we'll call it 25-ish yards.
So the height was good. It was more about the
left and right, and that's normal. That's just you know, learning to get a better stance and a better grip and, you know, settle yourself out. Yeah. But this is the second time you've ever done it, and probably the first time you shot at that distance.
Yeah, I've never shot that.
So 25 yards in what we've been shooting for 15 minutes.
Yeah.
With rifles.
Yep.
And you're.
Yeah, the learning curve's definitely.
You see what's happening there? I mean, like, yeah. So you're now effective to 25 yards at that speed.
Now let's do handguns at that range.
Let's do that exact thing. But
All right, so this is going to be horrible for me. I
want you to shoot on the furthest right target, okay? The furthest right target. There you go. So take your time and just fire like 3 rounds or something like that. Okay.
If we see good holes, there'll be mine. The bad holes are yours.
We'll see. Mine are off.
Well, what were you going for?
Head.
Okay. I feel pretty good about that, considering how far away I was. I felt like that, but all 3 of these went off to the left from what I was aiming for. I was just aiming for dead center. Right.
So we've been talking about it all day, right?
Yeah.
That natural left drift.
Yeah.
And we had cleaned it up quite a bit,
yeah.
right? From when we started this morning, we cleaned up that, and you were shooting some much better groups at closer range. But now we've pushed our range to essentially your max. You know what I mean? Like, you know, at your current skill level, that is your max range, right? Because you're still hitting, you're still on the target. They're not all misses. I mean, you got 3 hits on there, so that's awesome.
The 3 cues for me that have helped the most are lean forward,
getting ass behind the gun,
palms like put thumbs together,
pressure all the way around,
and then keeping the pressure on the trigger. That's
good trigger control.
Those
good
are my
trigger
3
presses.
like cues.
That and then front sight focus. Those are you've just summed it up perfectly, better than I can.
Got a good coach.
Do what I can.
2-2-2.
2-2-2. I'm going to shoot left to right. You're going to shoot right to left.
Okay.
You can actually practice it both ways, and you should, but it's just easier for left-handed people to start from the right. It's easier for right-handers to start from the left. So start from our low ready, just like we always do. 2 shots, 2 shots, 2 shots. The trick here is to try to not pivot the gun, because you get the shakies when you try to stop. So the trick is bring the gun up, come off safe, fire, fire, shift my knee, fire, 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 fire. Your hips and your knee. You got to kind of rock with it versus.
Yeah, that makes sense.
That all that
whole body moves as a unit instead of your. Yeah.
So we're gonna go slow the first time.
Nice.
2-2-2. So come up, but keep your gun on safe. Come up, but you're not going to fire. So present the gun up to the target on the right. There you go. So what I want you to do is, what you're doing is this, and you go like this, you go like that. What I want you to do is shoot, shoot, so this doesn't move.
Oh, I see.
Yeah, there you go. See how your hips and your knees are going to do it? Yeah. So you just kind of bomb, 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 bomb. But see it, see it, see it each time.
Okay.
Better. Still a little bit of movement. That's okay. It takes a while to get the lower body coordinated to do that.
This should be rigid. It's just like a robot.
Yeah, see how, like, I'm going to shoot like this. Yeah. You know, versus having it, because what you get is wobblies. So let's look at our shots, okay? I already tell you that these are yours, and here's why. It's not an attack. It's we're going to talk about why that is.
Compensating.
It's the swingies.
Yeah.
When you do that tank turret maneuver on the top, instead of rocking over your hips and knees and keeping the gun still, right? Just like with pistol shooting, we want to keep that damn pistol still when we pull the trigger. Yeah. Rifle needs to be still too. Right. It's just easier to control, you know what I mean? But we still have to control it. So what you get is, see how they start to widen out that way? Yeah. And what's going to happen, I'll guess before we even look at the targets, this is your last one, so this will be the widest. They'll be narrower in the middle, and then close on the end, because as you move and get wider, get wobblier as you go, they'll start to widen out. So see how this is, I'm going to guess you. Yeah. See how they're apart, but not terrible. Yeah. You know what I mean?
Oh, I forgot to shoot higher too.
Forgot to float your dot. Yeah. That's okay.
Float my dot. There I am at the bottom.
That's okay. Yeah. But see how these are going to be the tightest of the bunch, and then those are only a little apart, but see how they got several inches apart on the far one, and that's going to happen, and that will get, as we move back distance wise, that will start to go
even more.
Oh, it'll start being hits, shoulders, one hit, one miss. You know, and then you take another yard back, it'll be hits, shoulder, miss, miss, miss. You know what I mean? Like, as you start pushing that back. So that's why we want to learn to control it nice and tight secure at close range. And as we can start doing that, building our comfort and our speed and our accuracy, then we'll push our accuracy at distance. So it's a kind of a constant battle out here between distance, speed, and accuracy. All those variables are floating around, and we have to manage them as best we can and train them the best we can. And this is the way that I like to do it. I go back and forth between distance and then accuracy and then speed, and then now we're going to move the gun across multiple targets. We're practicing all those different things to kind of try to get good at all of them.
Nice.
Guys, if you're liking the content, please chuck a like on the video, and also don't forget to subscribe. That really helps me with the algorithm to get this video viewed by more of you guys.